Hello beautiful souls and welcome back to my channel. I know, long time no see. I think it's been close to a year since the last time I made a video and I am so very sorry. If you guys don't know, I am actually in university, so it's a lot and I'm going to be graduating soon. So it took up a lot of my time, and I'm also running a business. I'm running a jewelry business on Etsy, so that has taken up a lot of my time. However, I have missed reading for all of you so much. I have kept up with my channel. I've been seeing a lot of comments that you guys have been leaving recently, and I just really want to get back into reading. It is just a huge passion of mine, and I'm excited to be here. So I thought we can just go ahead and get started. This reading is going to be all about what to expect from the rest of your 2022, since I wasn't able to do, what to expect for the whole 2022. So we have 4 piles here. This is group number 1 with the opalite stone, group number 2 with the fluorite stone, group number 3 with the bloodstone, goldstone, sorry. Group number 4 with the dragon bloodstone. So go ahead and pick the pile that resonates the most with you. You can pick multiple piles, you can just pick one. And I will leave all the timestamps down below in the description. And remember, from this reading, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. That is always up to you. So I'll go ahead and see you guys in your pile. All right, group number 1, if you chose the beautiful opalite stone, this will be your reading. So this card right here, I asked for a general theme for the rest of your 2022, so that is what this card is going to give us. You have the sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. Group number 1, I'm going to start off by saying I feel like maybe 2022 was not the easiest year for you so far. I'm sensing there has been a lot of work. Okay, maybe some of you are new moms. That's something I'm feeling. New moms, new dads. You have maybe a new pet also. I feel like there was maybe a change or a very rapid increase in something in your life, and you kind of had to speed up really quickly, and you haven't been able to take time for yourself. Maybe it was a new job or a promotion, or family moving in. Maybe even a marriage. It doesn't have to be something necessarily bad, but just something that has taken up a lot of your time and has maybe made you forget to, take care of yourself. And that is so important. We always need to remember that, our soul and our body and our mind and our mental health should come first, so that we can put our best self out there, not just for other people, but for the world in general and for ourselves, so we can be an example to ourselves. Even if we don't always feel our best, if we try to, take care of ourselves by simple things like drinking water and make sure we're eating, it gives an example to our own selves that, we care. And I feel like maybe throughout the year of 2022, that hasn't really been there. There has been maybe a little bit of a lack of taking care of yourself, maybe putting others first. You give and you give and you give a lot. And that is beautiful. That is wonderful energy. But I feel like the rest of 2022 may be a time for you to slow down a little bit and to kind of look inward and see, where can you find your peace? Some of you might be water signs, and you need to reconnect with that energy of water and, slowing down, going with the flow a little bit more, finding, a place where you can be yourself, whether that's through physical activity like yoga or creative art, music, painting, writing, journaling, or sometimes, honestly, it can be like you want to go and watch a TV show that you love. Sometimes we have to be able to do that. If we're on really fast mode and we don't know how to slow down, sometimes it is okay to sit in front of a TV and watch the show that makes you really happy and just relax for a minute. That is okay. Some of you guys maybe have been neglecting your health. Maybe you haven't been eating healthy, or you haven't been eating enough, or you just haven't gone to the doctor to make sure that you're doing okay. And this is about you again, really connecting with yourself again, finding that balance that maybe has been missing. I feel like some of you guys have just been all the way to one side, very masculine energy, or all the way to the other side, very feminine. You haven't been finding that balance that needs to exist for you to really, really, exist happily, or at least in a state of peace where you're not constantly, all over the place and stressed. So I'm gonna put that right there. And we're gonna read your cards. I've decided I'm gonna shuffle on screen because there's a lot of things that happen when I shuffle off screen, like cards will go flying, and it just kind of helps me see the energy of the group. So let's go ahead and see. I just got this deck, so I'm very excited to use it. I needed a little coming back gift for myself. So what can group number 1 expect from the rest of their 2022? I'm gonna leave them down as we get started. It's interesting, your cards have probably been the most stable. Oh, well, okay, thanks universe, I appreciate it. That was funny. You see, that's what I mean. Make sure that's all in the frame. Okay, let's get started. So we have the 3 of Swords. Okay, well, there's a little bit of that energy. Some of you guys may have gone through heartbreak. Oh, okay. Well, some of you guys may have gone through a heartbreak or some form of a divorce or separation that's kind of forced you to have to learn how to depend on yourself. Some of you guys, that's why you may have gotten a new job, or you've started to have to really take care of financial issues, or any issue really that maybe you weren't accustomed to doing because you had another person there to help you with that. And some of you guys may have really gone through some sort of heartbreak that has led to you possibly depending on yourself. There's a bit of betrayal. Something here isn't fully. Oh yeah, okay, that's okay. Yeah, you guys, wow, that's interesting. Look at this card. So we have the 10 of Swords here, and look at all those swords. It's just attacking, right? It's these are all the things that are happening, and this person is trying to hold on. Okay, they're holding on for dear life. They're really trying to make sure that everything is okay. But sometimes it's not. These things lead to overwhelming feelings and experiences, and life sometimes just gets crazy. And I feel like some of you guys are going through a moment right now where life is just getting a little bit crazy, and you need to step back. And if that's not, fully possible, if you can't take 10 days off because, you have a job to do or you have someone to take care of, it's finding little moments throughout the day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, wake up a little bit earlier, go to sleep a little bit later, and asking for that space sometimes too. Oh, that's an interesting contrast. Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups. So we go from the 10 of Swords to the 10 of Cups, which is very different energy, because here we have, this is a very solitary card in which someone is kind of experiencing, sometimes it's a backstabbing, but sometimes it's just the weight of the world on you, and you feel like you're very alone. But then we have the 10 of Cups, and this is this very family oriented card, and it's about unity and experiences with people who you love, and trying to find the things that you love. And I feel like some of you guys, you've either had a family that's come in, and that could be that thing where families come in and you've kind of had to maybe hide some of this and just deal with it. And oh, okay, sorry, I get messages. Sometimes I hear things. That sounds crazy. Anyways, some of you guys may have gone through a really hard time, like a heartbreak, like you lost a job, or you just were dealing with some sort of bully, and then it's kind of like you had to put on a brave face for this family. You had to show that united front, and that wasn't really, I guess, the most productive thing in the world. I'm going to flip both of these over just so we have them. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, that's the Ace of Wands is all about finding new passion. Okay, I'm going to show you guys these cards. The Ace of Wands here. Very interesting, new passions. Some of you guys may have had a new talent, or not a new talent, but a new skill you've been wanting to develop, or a new experience you want to have. Maybe you want to go to a dance studio or a yoga studio, or you want to learn pottery. Something that maybe is a little bit out of your comfort zone to go out and experience, but some of you guys really want to do that. And we have the Two of Wands, right? That's looking towards the future. really mapping out, I guess, let me move this over, mapping out your life in a way towards these new experiences. So that's really an interesting change in energy, okay? Because we have these two cards, which you could deem negative, right? I don't really like to call any of these cards necessarily negative, because everything is an experience and everything kind of has a lesson in it, I guess. However, it definitely can feel negative when you're in the midst of it. So we have obviously the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords here, which show that you may have gone through something really difficult, okay? You went through a moment and it was hard, and it still is hard. Maybe you're still probably dealing with the fallout. You're still, trying to hold on. You're still maybe, not really sure of what even happened, because sometimes when things go really wrong in our lives, when we move on or we try to move on, we still can't comprehend why something happened, or, like what, for what reason. And that takes healing, it takes time, and it's not always easy. And these Ten of Cups, now I have two different energies coming through here. Again, I have the energy of where some of you had to maybe put up a brave front for the people you love. Again, you may have children and you don't want your younger children to know what you're going through. Or you have family and you don't want them to know what you're going through. Or sometimes, family is not always, the most connected thing, and you don't want people to know you're having issues because, then they can use that against you. So that's one energy I feel here. But there's also those of you who maybe have had a new experience right now that's even giving you that space to maybe start to relax. You may have met someone who's helping you take that responsibility a little bit off your shoulders and sharing that with you, or a friend or something. But it's really about trying to find unity in numbers, whether that is, physical numbers like a partner and friends and a community. It's also about maybe your guides and kind of asking the universe, or, whatever you believe in, to take the weight off your shoulders just a little bit, or for a little while, for you to have space to do this. I want you guys, this is my homework for you, okay? You need to start something new. And again, it really does not have to be a big thing. You don't have to, drive 40 minutes to a renowned dance studio to learn how to pop and lock it. You know what I mean? You can go on YouTube and search up choreography and just start there. Or you want to paint, or you want to learn how to make jewelry, or you want to start practicing something new, or something that you left behind. Some of you guys maybe have projects that you said you were going to complete and you did it, and now is the time to really get back into passions. And I feel like sometimes we think that self-care is just, again, the classic, bubble baths and chocolate and, face masks, and, that's good and stuff and awesome. But sometimes self-care is really just giving yourself the space to go back to the things that you loved, or try the things that you loved, because we need to give ourselves space to have hobbies just for the sake of having hobbies, to give ourselves somewhere to express, and not necessarily make it something that that you have to be good at, or something that you make money from. Just something that gives you space to express and to just release, and to just kind of shut the mind off for a while. If you've ever been in a sort of state of making or creating something, you know how sometimes hours can pass and you forget to eat because you're so enveloped in this thing that that's it. And it helps, sometimes it just helps to kind of empty your mind in that way, and not, through a 5-10 minute sitting meditation, which is awesome as well. But sometimes not everyone, when, so much is going on in their life, that can do that. And so finding something where you're actually using your hands or your voice or whatever, your body, and you can take your mind off of it in a healthy way, that's awesome. And I really think that doing that is gonna sort of reinvigorate your life, and you're gonna find again a new passion to exist. You're gonna remember, okay, well, yeah, this is what life has going on, and I just forgot about it. So that's really what I see for you, group number one. I think, this is a time for you to take a step back if you can, like I said, for maybe 5-10 minutes a day, and just try and find something small that you're going to do for fun. Really, that's it, for fun, for expression. And try not to, put any, I don't know how to say it, difficulty upon it. Don't try and do it because you need to be good at it. You know, like if you want to get into painting, don't be mad at yourself if your first painting comes out pretty bad because, you know, you're not a master. And I think it's so important to remember that this phase of being a student, the phase of learning, is really beautiful too, because oftentimes, well, not always, but oftentimes you can only go up. And I think that just doing something for fun is really going to help you here. So group number 1, I wish you the best. I hope this resonated. If it didn't, again, just take what did and leave what didn't. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. All right, group number 2, those of you who chose this beautiful fluorite palm stone, we will get into your reading. So these 2 cards, well, it was actually supposed to be 1, but your cards kept popping out as 2, so I took 2. These cards are supposed to be the general theme of the rest of your 2022, so this will give me just a good basis of foundation so I can understand what to expect from this reading for you. So we have healing the mother line, healing ancestral work, mother line, and growing up. Okay, and we have Mother Rose. Okay, returning to each other, compassion, and humanity. We have 2 mother cards. Interesting. Some of you guys, you know, maybe mothers, new mothers, or just mothers in general. That is a very big possibility for some of you. Especially this card here with healing the mother line. I feel like some of you guys may be breaking generational curses, and good for you. Very proud of you for that. And some of you guys may be, you know, healing an issue that you had with your mother, a past trauma, a childhood trauma. These 2 cards for me really signify, you know, kind of being soft in a good way. Well, being soft is always kind of a good way. Well, not always, but in my opinion, it is. I think it's that compassion, and you're trying to have compassion with yourself and with, you know, I think the women in your life, the people who've maybe caused you harm or pain in the past. Some of you guys, like I said, are new mothers maybe, and you're trying to be a better mother to your child than your mother was to you. That is for some of you, but I think like some of you are really just taking the time in the rest of your 2022 to look inward. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done here. And I think a lot of you have put on a really brave face, okay, for a long time. Or you've been very tough, a hard shell, and, you know, you've kind of had that thing where everything's okay. I've got this. You know, I can do this, and I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can do this. But I feel like there's something inside of you that is calling you to find that softness and find that compassion for yourself, especially. You know, I'm really feeling like some of you have had some sort of childhood trauma with a mother or a female figure in your life. It could be, you know, a male figure, but I'm just really feeling a female figure here. And this could be very generational, like grandmother did it to mother did it to you, and, you know, you don't want that cycle to continue. And it's about maybe realizing what went wrong and when, and also realizing that nothing that happened to you as a kid was ever your fault. And this Mother Rose, returning to each other, the compassion and humanity, I feel like if you think about a mother figure, right, and this is, again, theoretical if you think about what we view as masculine and feminine, you know, you can have 2 fathers and you can have 2 mothers, or you can have, you know, a single dad or a single mom, and all of that is wonderful. But let's think theoretically here. A mother figure usually is maternal, right? And we have the idea that a mother is there to nourish and to discipline as well, but to usually take care of the child and to show them, you know, how to be kind, how to be compassionate. That's that very feminine energy, tapping into your intuition and learning how to be emotional and showing, you know, their kids that emotion is okay. That would be in a world where, you know, everything kind of worked out like that. But as we all know, not always do our parents or, you know, our guardians in general, or the older people in our lives, teachers and, you know, authority figures, teach us that. And we grow up feeling very much like we need to defend ourselves and those we care about, and like we're alone sometimes in this world, and everything has to be done by us, and we need to do it perfectly. And that drains us sometimes. And I feel like group number 2, some of you guys have been really fighting tooth and nail here for a long time, just kind of trying to prove yourself. God, prove that you're worthy of love. Prove that, you know, you're worthy of being cared for. And yet at the same time, I feel like some of you guys haven't allowed people to care for you. Like, people come into your lives and, you know, they want to show you that, you know, they're there for you, but you don't necessarily believe them, or you don't really want them to. It's kind of like, well, no, I can handle this. It's okay. And it's because maybe that softness wasn't introduced to you at a young age, and you kind of want to start to figure out, yeah, it's okay to be, you know, soft, to be compassionate, to take that time to connect with that younger self. And I feel like there is an idea here of, you know, connecting with a child, right? I see this young girl here, and I feel like a lot of you maybe have left behind that younger child, or you've built some sort of shell to like protect them, right? You don't want anything to come in and hurt that younger child. You don't want that inner child of yours to feel that pain, so you kind of block it out. But we don't really move past anything or deal with it unless we deal with it. You know what I mean? And I think there's a part of you that is up-leveling spiritually and really wants to find, you know, how to be more connected with everything, with the other, and to find that compassion for humanity. And again, also, this is something else about, you know, your trauma. You don't always have to forgive what happened, but there is a need sometimes to understand it. And maybe it's not understandable, but being able to look at what happened, or if you don't remember, just understanding that there is a trauma there, and being able to say, this, you know, this is there, this happened, now what can I do? And a big thing that I feel like I have to tell you, like, it's just in my head, say it. It's not your fault what happened to you. If something happened to you, your trauma or your issues or whatever, whether it happened as a child, as a teenager, or a couple months ago, it is never your fault when someone abuses you in some sort of way, emotionally, psychologically, physically. It isn't your fault. And yes, it's true. Often we have to look when things happen and be like, well, did I do something? But most of the times, no. A lot of the times it's people who are acting out because of their own hurts, and that doesn't make it okay. But it's understanding that therefore it allows you not to blame yourself for the bad things that happen to you. So let's go ahead and get into your tarot. Like I told group number 1, I've decided I'm going to shuffle on camera because often cards will like fly everywhere, and it just allows me to get that energetic read to see what's going on. So group number 2, what can we expect from the rest of your 2022? Okay, what can you expect? Queen of Cups, wow. That's so interesting, because for me, I always associate the Queen of Cups very much with like one of the most motherly figures, because again, the Cups is the emotional. We're talking very Cancerian energy, okay? A lot of you guys might be Cancers, and you know that sort of feeling where like you thought family was supposed to come first, and the Queen of Cups is a very emotional queen. You know, she's very much in tune with her emotions. She knows how to use her emotions. She knows how to deal with them. She's very creative. You know, that's that whole water energy. Very much a mother figure. So, let's see. The Magician. This is about taking your life into your own hands again. So I feel like for the rest of 2022, this realization has already come to you that you want to, or something inside of you is calling you to kind of deal with something or heal something or address something in your life. And you really want to start taking that into your own hands, because I feel like though some of you may believe that, being tough is and strong and always taking care of everything yourself is the way to be in control of your life, sometimes it feels like, but you don't know how to relax or how to, be vulnerable with somebody and not feel like you're being weak, which, by the way, being emotional is not being weak. Being emotional or being soft or being kind or compassionate is not weak. And that is what I feel like sometimes we need to learn, that it is okay every now and then to cry in the mirror and be like, oh my God, what happened was terrible and it hurts me so bad. And it's about being open with your own emotions and feeling them, but not allowing them to consume you, right? And sometimes we need to seek help because we can't do it on our own, or maybe you can, but that's always an option. Okay, the Star. These are very beautiful cards though. The Star, okay, the Star is all about wishes coming true, okay, dreams coming true. And I feel like some of you guys, something in 2022 has either happened or will happen very soon that is a dream coming true, and you kind of want to be prepared for that. That could be a person coming in which you'll have to be vulnerable. That could be, again, a child for some of you guys. Maybe your dream has been to get pregnant and you want to be a good mother or father, whoever's watching. And you want to be able to, have that part of you, not necessarily fully healed, but understand that part of you so that you can be a better example to your own child. Or maybe it's just a project or just a dream, a trip or something, but a part of you just wants to be kind of, I feel like, prepared for something that might come in soon or has been coming in. This is so sweet. Just look at that. It's like looking wistfully to the sky and holding this. Is this a lamb? Looks like a lamb. I'm going to say it's a lamb. Okay. Looking wistfully into the sky, just kind of like hoping. There's a very, very much young version of you inside that still has so much hope for the world. And I feel like some of you guys may be a little bit pessimistic or, tough. Again, that's the word I'm using. Very tough, okay? And that's not a bad thing. It's just simply, maybe you've lost touch with that dreamer inside of you, the person who, has that hope that all of these beautiful things will happen and that you'll be able to experience all these dreams in your life. And that child or that person inside of you or the higher self in your soul is like trying to connect with you so badly to tell you like things are possible, like good things are possible. And you just need to kind of communicate with them again and access that part of you. I'm going to shuffle that back in. Man, sometimes my acrylics, I cannot grab the cards. Okay. Well, thank you. The Queen of Swords. Very interesting. I'm going to pull this one out again. The High Priestess. A lot of major arcanas here. So this is a big moment in your life. I feel like by the end of 2022, you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, I do not even recognize myself anymore. And like in the best way though, because it's like, and you know what I feel? I don't think it's just completely like turning off this side of you that's, very, very much like, I don't want to say control it, but like very much like wants things in order for you, right? It's like, you've built your life and you're the one who knows where like things go in your house. You're the one who knows what time, what is happening, who goes where. Like you own your area. And it's not about like completely discarding that and just being like, I love. It's kind of about bringing that balance. And we have these two queens here. Queen of Cups, okay? The Queen of Cups, like I said, emotional, soft, connected with that energy, allows herself to feel, allows herself to know what it's like to feel love, what it's like to feel sadness, what it's like to feel anger, what it's like to feel wistful. And then we have the Queen of Swords. Very, very much in one direction, okay? She uses her mental power This is common sense, logical thinking, okay? Putting things in order. And you can just see the difference in between these two beautiful ladies here, just kind of in their facial features. Just one is like, you know, kind of a little bit more laid back, experiencing life, you know, just kind of, again, looking into the future. And then we have one who's a little bit more determined, you know, knows what she wants and gets it her way. So I feel like it's not about just discarding that. It's about finding that balance. And look at the High Priestess. I love the High Priestess so much because the High Priestess to me is basically that. The High Priestess isn't, you know, either or. She's a very spiritual woman and very well versed in, you know, texts. And when you think about that, she's someone who knows kind of the deeper things in life, right? She knows to use her intuition. She knows complexities of life in the universe and the spiritual powers in the higher realms. Very intuitive, connected with herself, but also understands the way things work. And I think there is a part of you that is very much trying to achieve this level, which is like very enlightened and connected with the yin and the yang. And that is so important to remember for you, that you want to be able to balance, okay? And that feels like a big energy so far for every pile, is finding balance. It isn't about extremely going in one way or extremely going in another. And I feel like, again, the rest of 2022, you are going to maybe have this awakening or have these experiences. Some of you guys have just gotten into therapy, or some of you guys are, you know, maybe starting some sort of life coaching thing. Maybe some of you have gotten like recent communication with something from your past, and that's kind of started this. Okay, it started this desire to kind of connect with yourself again. Very interesting. And I think that you definitely are going to go somewhere very beautiful with this. Very much connecting to yourself. It's just there's very different energies here, and like in one person. Because again, I feel like this is very much like the younger child who's like hopeful and dreamy, and we have the High Priestess, you know, like she knows, like she knows what happens. Okay, she's got all the knowledge, and it is really up to you to come to this point, you know, the Magician. This is your choice. This is something that you have to choose to get to or to make. And this is, again, with all the major arcana and the two queens, I definitely feel like this is going to be a very major moment in your life that's going to change a lot of the way you see things. And I think that's always usually a good thing. So that is what I have for you, group number 2. I hope you like this reading. Again, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, group number 3. If you chose the gold stone, this will be your reading. Let me move that out of the way. Group number 3, your group was funny. I have to start off by saying that when I was shuffling just this one card, I had literally had the deck in my hands, and it kept pulling out like 7 cards at a time, and I was just trying to get one. Just one, please connect. And this one decided to slide all the way under my bed, like to the end. So your energy is interesting. It's definitely something. So for this card, this is going to be the general theme for the rest of 2022. This is going to give me a foundation for you, basically. What can you mainly expect? And we have the Anointed. Oh, wow, that makes sense. Answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. Some of you guys are leveling up, okay? This in multiple ways. I feel like you have decided you're not gonna take shit anymore from anybody. You know, this is about you stepping into your power, like for real. Okay, you decided you know your worth. Interesting, because I'm seeing like multiple things here could have happened. There's like 2 things I'm getting. Either something negative happened in which you kind of had a period that made you really doubt your worth. Like someone said something to you, you went through a really difficult heartbreak, an issue with a family that just like made you doubt yourself. You're like, am I a good person? Am I pretty? Am I, you know, worth success? And then there were some of you who have just really had a really great experience, and you were just immediately like, damn, I can do this. So whether you're group 1 or you're group 2 in that, you are having a very, very interesting moment in your life coming up very soon, because this is like universe level calling you up, being like, hey, it's time for you to step into that power of yours. Some of you guys may be getting like a job promotion or like a new job. It's like something is coming in that you've been calling for like a long time, and it's like time for you to like show up and prove yourself in that way. Like, yeah. Very, very miracle-like things. Like, I feel like you'll start to see signs around you, angel numbers, maybe like specific birds. I was just looking out my window and I saw a bird, so that's what came to mind. Maybe like a specific like plant or something, a color, or you know, it's like when you just are like, oh, I want to see a purple butterfly, and then all of a sudden it's like you start seeing purple butterflies in like commercials and stuff. So something like that's going to start happening to you. Very interesting synchronicities, and I think they're going to be different than the usual. Like, it may be angel numbers, but I feel like it'll be something more specific, like seeing something really, really random again and again and again. You guys have something very, very special. Okay, we have soul gifts here. Some of you guys may be readers, and this could be, you know, or divinators in general, and this could be a call for you to like really get out there and put, you know, your gifts to use. This could be even starting a YouTube channel, or joining some sort of like studio that, you know, does readings or stuff like that. But I definitely feel like some of you guys are going to be like writers, artists. I'm feeling very like creative level stuff. In which, you know, like success is like, if you really get successful, it's like you get to fame almost, because I feel like you have a talent in something you're really, really talented in, and it's like, maybe you've doubted that for a long time. You've doubted your talent. You're like, well, yeah, I mean, I think I'm like fine, but like other people are better. But no, I'm gonna remind you something. If you are good at something just like naturally, like people tell you like, wow, you're good at that, and you hear that again and again and again, there's a reason that you are good at that. We are often gifted, if you believe, we are often gifted with specific skills and talents because they align a bit with our life's plan or our purpose, and it's kind of like a preset in your life. Okay, you know how if you ever play video games, sometimes there's like different paths that you can choose before you start a game. I'm like thinking right now, oh, Cyberpunk, I feel like had something like that. But basically it's like you can choose, you know, if you're going to be, I don't know, a hunter, a sorcerer, or I don't know, a barkeep. Three very different things. But if you've ever played a game, you know how sometimes you can choose those different life paths, and then your game will kind of revolve around that. You know, you may have similar experiences to the other people who chose different life paths, but yours is kind of led in a way. And it's because you chose a specific life path from the beginning that led you down that path. So that's kind of what I feel like is here. It's like something was given to you before you were born, some sort of talent, some sort of skill. That could be even like public speaking. And now it's like your life is slowly starting to bring you to a point where you need to use that life path. So, and this is about you stepping up, okay? This isn't just like life is just gonna happen to you and boom, you're in this like dream place that you've always wanted to be. This is also about you taking the initiative to be like, okay, I'm gonna put myself out there. And leadership, because again, it's not just like, oh, you know, you're gonna join like a group and you're gonna be there with your group. It's fun too, but I feel like with leadership and empowerment, you're gonna be at the front of something. So, okay, let's get into it. Again, I'm gonna shuffle on camera because sometimes when I shuffle, things just start flying everywhere, and I feel like that's important for these energies. So, what can group number 3 expect from the rest of their 2022? see your cards, they just like to fly. We have the Empress, oh my god, and we have the Two of Wands. Wow, again, that very fiery, passionate energy. This is something that is meant for you. This is like developing a plan, okay? This is no longer just a hope or a wish or a dream. This is like laying down the steps to go towards what you want to do. So I'm going to give you some advice right now. If you have a dream, or if you've always been saying, well, I want to do this, I want to do that, now is the time to get your little journal and make like a plan and be like, well, first I'm going to, call this person. Then I'm going to write this thing. Then I'm going to start this account. Then I'm going to post and that's basically what you're going to be doing, okay? I recommend you doing that, because when you put those steps onto, a paper, you're actually going to start to take that initiative. And of course, we have the Empress here. This is just abundance, nature. Oh, like you're the head of something. Again, you don't have to be a woman for this to apply to you, even though the Empress is a very feminine card, but it's just very much, she's a matriarch, okay? Abundance, fertility, the creation of something, right? The creation of something. This is like a very big moment, a very big moment. This isn't just like, oh, this is just a little project. And I'm very careful with what I say, okay? I always like to be like, yeah, you're going to start something new, but don't put so much pressure onto it. It might just be something for fun. But this feels very much like it's going to be important, at least in the scheme of your life. Okay, so it's not about putting like too much pressure onto it, like you don't want to be mean to yourself, but it is definitely about taking the initiative and like stop slacking. Let's see what else we have. The Page of Swords. Oh, it's that honing of skills, right? I feel like some of you guys have really that natural talent, but once you start taking, again, this step, you're going to really start honing your skills and putting it to use for the first time ever. Okay, thank you. We have the Two of Swords. There's a choice here. It's that life path thing's coming back to me. I'm hearing path again. It's like you can choose to go down one or you can choose the other. You can continue, your normal, happy, life, if it's happy. I mean, I really, whatever you're experiencing right now, it can be beautiful, but maybe it's lacking that passion that, you feel like you're destined for something more. I feel that. You're destined for something more. There is something inside of you that calls for more, and you can choose that more. Okay. Your group, I'm going to not keep those. That is what my soul is telling me. Wonderful. And we're going to keep these two. Okay. Let's see what we have here. The Hierophant. That's destiny. It's insane. I'm getting head pounding because and the Eight of you're scared. Okay. Wait, is that in the frame? Yes, it is. Wonderful. Group number 3. Why are you afraid? A part of you is afraid. You are not sure of yourself. There is so much destiny in this. Okay. This literally feels like I'm telling you like a fantasy story. Destiny and life path, but it's true. It's true. I'm feeling like y'all are like, main characters in your story for sure. Very important. And it's interesting that we get all of these cards first, and then lastly it's the Eight of Swords. And I feel like you're so sure in a way of yourself, like there's a part of you that knows that you're destined for more. Like you know that you have a specific talent, that you're destined for more, that there is a passion inside of you. And I feel like maybe sometimes you're like on some form of like social media and like you see someone living that life that you want and you get so jealous or so angry because you're like, I can do that. Like I have that skill. I have that capability. Like I can be living that life but you're not, because you're not answering that call, which is what you need to be doing now. But I feel like some of you guys are afraid. It's interesting, right? Because look, again, it's this energy of being surrounded by all these fears when the good stuff is just like right there. It's right outside. And it is about you really understanding that you're very much capable of getting to that place. So I'm going to tell you this right now. You are very much capable of getting to that place. And again, I will always say this. This doesn't mean quit your job and just go into it. Okay? Let's put that out there. You are very much capable of it. But since I do feel like these fears are here, and there's a part of you that isn't sure, whether it's sure if that's what you really want or sure of yourself, start doing it. Start as, learning and honing your skill and implement it slowly into your life. Slowly. And that way you'll start to build up that confidence until things start to really work out. But again, it is about altering that path to have all of these things that fit your skill. And I'll say, I'm going to go back to that video game reference again. When you choose a specific life path, right? You may have those overlapping experiences with the other people who chose different life paths. But you have little dialogue comments that are specifically oriented to the one you chose, or a specific side quest oriented to what you chose. So this isn't about you make the choice and all of a sudden it's like, let's say for example, you dream of being an artist and you're really just a great painter. And this isn't like, okay, you finally decide you're going to paint something really big and you're going to put it out there. And it's not like you're going to be, displaying your art in the Met. Not yet. But it's like once you make that choice, once you say, okay, I'm a good painter. I love painting, and this is something that I may want to pursue with my life. I'm going to start painting little by little, and I'm going to start slowly putting it on an account, or I'm going to slowly start, showing this to a professor, or I'm going to join a studio, and I'm going to go to galleries. And it's like, okay, maybe you're not displaying your art in the Met just yet, but you're going to have all of these kind of opportunities around you slowly building up, and you're going to have to start connecting with people who are going to call you and be like, hey, I heard you're a painter. And so it's like all those little experiences as you're honing your skills that are going to lead you to that destiny moment. So I definitely feel like you guys have a lot going for you. A lot going for you. So that is what I have for you, group number 3. I hope that resonated with you. And if it did not, remember, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. All right, group number 4, if you chose the Dragon Bloodstone, let's get rid of that. This will be your reading. Let's get here. Okay, so this card right here is going to be a general theme for the rest of your 2022 so that I can orient myself for your reading. We have After the Rain, Silver Lining, Relief, Hope, Mercy, It's Over, Acceptance. I feel like some of you guys may also belong to another pile, just saying that now. Okay. So you guys have been through something. Having a hard time, a lot of inconveniences. Have any of you crashed your car in 2022? I feel like y'all have been having definitely an interesting 2022. I don't know why. I don't necessarily feel like huge bad things happening. Maybe they have, but I feel like there's a lot of just inconveniences, man. Inconveniences. Schedules have been getting mixed up, and now you're having issues. You can never manage to get that appointment. Someone crashed into your car. Something happened. Your house was flooded. I mean, that's kind of a really bad thing too. But I feel like there are things that have been just difficult to deal with. And I feel physically difficult too. I don't feel like it's just dealing with trauma and the feeling of having to mentally and emotionally process things, but I also feel like there's physical things happening around you, having to rebuild something literally, or having to take something to a mechanic, take something to a repair shop, take something and having to do all these things to make something better. And I feel like it's been just inconvenience after inconvenience where you have been like, do I have bad luck? Like, what is going on? A curse? I don't know what's happening. So this card coming in here for the rest of your 2022 is a blessing. Things are going to start getting better very soon. Okay? Very soon. Interestingly, I don't think it's going to happen just by like magically things are just going to stop happening. But I think a part of you is going to be like, well, this is life. And you're going to start to laugh at it. You're going to start to laugh at it. You're going to start to be like, you know, inconvenience. I got toothpaste on my shirt. You know what? Whatever. Like, so be it. I'm still going to show up. I'm going to do it. If someone asks me, I'm going to laugh and then I'm going to move on with my day. And I think that once you start having that acceptance for the things that are driving you insane, it will get a lot better. Now, if you've been having a lot more difficult issues, like you're having to heal through a heartbreak or, you know, grief, now is the time when you have to, I feel like there is a need to be very emotional and to accept that you feel this way. And that is a huge thing that I've learned in my short life, is that emotions, a lot of the time, they need to be validated by yourself. And we often get afraid when we feel angry because we have this like really big negative connotation towards anger. So we're afraid to feel anger. When we feel angry, we're afraid that we feel angry. And we don't allow ourselves to just kind of feel it. And that is okay sometimes, you know, to like get angry and be like, I'm angry. Now, of course, that isn't about taking it out on everybody else and being like, well, I'm going to mess up your day just because I'm angry. No, it's about simply being able to look at yourself and be like, this is what I feel right now. And I'm going to feel it. And then eventually it's going to pass. So I feel like a lot of you guys are really finding that, that sort of life processing now. And you're starting to kind of just be like, well, life happens. And sometimes it sucks, and sometimes it's not sucky, and sometimes it gets better. And I'm going to tell you guys, once you start doing that, it's going to get a lot better for you. There's going to be little things happening that are just going to lift your mood until like your life starts to wholly change. Remember, small changes make big changes in the end. And I feel like for a lot of you, that's what's going to be happening here. It's finding those little silver linings in things. And once you do that, once you kind of shift that mindset just a little bit, things will start to get better and the rain will stop, okay? So that, yes, 2022, the rest of your 2022, things will get better. So I will be shuffling on camera because, again, sometimes things happen as I read. Cards fly out. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. What can group number 4 expect from the rest of their 2022? We have the Ace of Swords, and we have the 8 of Wands. Yeah. Interesting. Wait, I'm going to get into it in a second. Did I say group number 4 or did I say group number 3? Anyways, doesn't matter, but I was confused there for a second. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to shuffle out the last card. Go ahead and flip these over. We have the 6 of Coins, Death, oh, I love that card, and the 2 of Coins. Okay. It's interesting because we have the Ace of Swords, right? The Ace of Swords is like new energy, new thoughts, new ideas, new things coming in with the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands to me is always like things moving very, very fast. And I feel like some of you guys have made some decisions in this year that have made things start to kind of happen very quickly to the point that you are not ready for things to be happening. And that's led to a little bit of, oh, some of you are burnt out. Like you're really just trying to find peace. You're holding on. It's like anything I can grab onto right now. Yeah, I'm thinking of Titanic, you know. Oh my god, what was the line? when Rose is on the wood and Jack is, man, I've watched that movie so many times and yet I don't remember. But basically, it's like Jack holding on to the wood and you've just been like praying like, please don't let me fall. Please just, I'm gonna hold on for a little bit more. Okay, just this tiny speck of wood. Just tiny, please just let me hold on. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, some of you guys have been like trying to hold on for dear life in your life. And you've really been just wishing to kind of find a moment of peace. And this Six of Coins, some of y'all have been giving too much and not taking enough. It's like, I don't know, I'm thinking of movies so much. Like, I feel like some of you guys may, like, love watching movies. I mean, really, who doesn't? But, you know what I'm feeling like? It's like the Hallmark movies, like, when there's, like, a CEO during Christmas and, like, everything's going insane in the office and just, like, everything's going wrong. Like, the printer stops working, people are spilling coffee everywhere, the, like meetings are being canceled and just so much is happening, and it's like they just need that little vacation, that break to that small Christmas town where everything is happy and cheerful and life is good. Yeah, that's what I feel like. Some of you guys may be running a business, some of you guys may be just in a job where like everyone's making you do things. Okay, it's like, hey, can you stay 5 more minutes? Can you do something? Maybe you're a mom and your husband or your wife, or you're a dad, or whatever, but you may have children and you're in a relationship and it's like, hey, can you do the laundry? Hey, do you mind washing the dishes? Well, I can't because and it's like all of those things are driving you insane and you kind of feel like you're responsible for a lot and you're like, God, just give me peace, just like one day and you will find that. Okay. I don't know what I feel like, I don't know why I'm really feeling like you guys are, it's gotten to the point where it's kind of ridiculous how things are just not working. But that's not going to be for long. Okay, we have death. Now, a lot of people get scared with the death card. It's one of my favorites. Like I said earlier, death is amazing because death is change. Death is the end of things, of some specific thing, for the beginning of something new. Okay? So something is going to end. Something here is going to end. This cycle is going to end. You're going to maybe change jobs, or you're going to stand up for yourself, or you're going to tell someone, hey, I can't do that for you today because I'm busy. And that action is going to change the whole thing for you. And it is a new beginning. And I love the Two of Coins. Okay, the Two of Coins is all about balancing. And I like it here, right? Look at this card, because we have the baby with the bear's body. I think it's a bear. It looks like a baby bear. And then the bear with the baby's body. And that is human and wild, right? And it's finding that balance. It's finding that place where it's like, okay, well, things may not always be going okay, but at least there's a good amount of time where things are actually kind of working out for you, and you are going to be finding this balance. I feel like some of you might just go on like a very impromptu vacation somewhere, and like you need peace. You need a moment where you're just by yourself, or with a partner, or with a best friend, someone you really care about, and you're just like, well, I really just want to lay here and not move for the next 3 hours, and that is okay. And I feel like you will definitely get there, okay? This is about you really, it's not even about you taking the load off, but it's about just life kind of slowly starting to take the load off of you. If you have been overworking yourself, if you have been going that, like, really that extra mile to, like, do things for other people, remember that you need to take time for yourself. And it's interesting, though, because this card here, it's not just about the baby and the bear, but it's also about the woman who's holding the baby and the bear. And it's kind of like that juggling. So there's two sides of you, or there's two sides of your life, right? There's the wild side, maybe that could be maybe the more connected to nature, the wants to go out and have fun, wants to plan impromptu trips, wants to, dance somewhere, wants to, go out to nice restaurants, or wants to go on retreats in the jungle. And then there's the side of you that's like, well, I gotta do the dishes, I gotta buy groceries, I gotta go to work, I gotta sleep early, I need to go to the doctor's appointment. So it's about you balancing those two sides of your life instead of letting one completely take over. Because I feel like maybe the inconveniences or like the bad things are happening in one section of your life where that balance is not there. So for example, if in work you're not finding that time to detach from work, like once you're done, then a lot of the inconveniences are probably happening at work or around work. Or if it's a relationship is just completely being consumed by things like bills and, having issues and arguments, or, it's just losing a little bit that bond. And it doesn't have to be over like, huge things. It could just simply be like going to buy groceries together and, having like little conversations side by side while you both push the cart, stuff like that. And that's maybe why most issues are happening in a relationship. And that can also be if you're just prioritizing or focusing all your energy in one area of your life so much, you're going to find that a lot of the things that are happening, if they are bad, are probably happening in that area because that's where you're giving all of your attention to. So think about it. If you are very much focused right now on work or a business project or something like that, have you given yourself the time to go a little bit wild? Be like, well, I know I was going to force myself to work until like 2 a.m. today, but you know what? How about I watch a movie and I get in bed and I turn on a candle and I turn it off because then you don't want to, burn your place down, and then I go to sleep. And that's, a good decision. And it may be wild for you because you may feel like, well, no, I have to work. I have to get this done. And it's not about being irresponsible. It's simply about being like, okay, well, I've put so much energy into this thing. I'm allowed to take a step back and be like, okay, I need to find my peace, my silver lining, some relief, right? There may be some projects coming to an end. You're reaching the finish line on something very soon, and you're going to find that relief again. But I really recommend that you find that balance again in your life to really say like, okay, well, I did a lot of work this week. I worked all day and almost all night. I'm allowed to take this weekend off and like go somewhere. So remember to put yourself first sometimes if you can. And because I do keep getting that image of family, if you do have children and you do have a partner, if it's possible, ask your partner, hey, do you mind taking care of the kids just today? I really want to have a mini trip, or I want to go to the mall, or I want to go to a field and just lay in the grass for the day. Because if not, I might explode. That is totally something that you should do. I really highly recommend it. So, group number 4, that is what I have for you. Again, I hope it resonated, and if it didn't, please take what did and leave what did not resonate. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!